All right, grasshoppers. The moment we've been waiting for 2 long weeks now. We were deprived of Dr. Jenny a week ago. Actually, she's very patriotic, as we discussed before. So she wanted to. She took some time away from Memorial Day weekend. How are you doing?
Hey, Tom, good morning. I'm doing
Good.
excellently. Thank
Good.
you. How about you?
Excellent. I like that. Excellent. Good. Good. Where'd you go away? Do you mind me asking where you went?
I mind. I'm just joking. Yeah, I was out on the beautiful island of St. Thomas. So it was really
Oh
lovely. I was
man,
out there for a few days. It was nice.
nice. I saw some of the stuff on Instagram there. Yeah, you're showing off. You're out in the water in the boat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have
So
you been, by the way? It's named
St.
right.
Thomas. No, I don't think I've been to St. Thomas. No.
No, you should. It's named for you. So you
I
should
know
just
exactly.
get it and be
I was
like,
thinking that. Yeah, and
my
aptly named too,
royalty. What
because
was
I am
that?
the saint. Aptly named too, because I am the saint. There's no
There,
question about it. Yes.
no comment. Just
Yes, man.
joking. Yeah.
Okay, so it might kind of made me think that we were going to talk today, and I wanted to talk about something. So we're both very motivated in our careers, and you talk about helping people shift their careers from one to another, or if they should shift careers. But there's that fine balance, right, between being motivated and working hard, but also enjoying your life too, right? So obviously, you went off on a vacation, you work very hard. What do you recommend to people? Is there a certain amount of time, or it depends where you're at in your career, or what do you think?
I feel like I'm going to preface this response by saying that there is time for everything. So there's time to, put your head down and work hard. And then there's also time to, obviously count your blessings and enjoy. So that said, I would also be mindful of the resources that you have. So obviously you want to enjoy life. So you want to also live within your means. And yeah, so just kind of think about these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not as much as I love to support people going for careers that they are passionate about. I also think that there's more to life than just pursuing careers and everything. So it's also good to enjoy time with people that you care about and just
Yeah.
yeah.
Is that true? Yeah. Like you think you work so hard for a career to be successful, and then you don't enjoy it, right? And then you see a lot of people later on in life when they go to retire, they're thinking, geez, what have I done with my life? Right? Yeah, enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody, just to be clear, if you have not seen Dr. Jenny on here with me, she has a company called Talk with Jenny. You can reach her on Instagram. A lot of great videos there, a lot of kind of motivational stuff too. But you can hire Dr. Jenny and you sit down and talk about your career, where you're at. Should you shift careers? If you're going to shift careers, how are you going to do it? So very interesting stuff. I know it's hard for people sometimes to, they're confused, right? They're thinking, okay, I'm not, I don't feel like I'm happy here, or is this just the way I'm supposed to be, right?
hmm Yeah, I mean, people feel unfulfilled in their career paths or just really unclear about where they should go next or even why they are where they are. So it's
Uh,
great to do that self check and better to do it with someone else who can help you kind of evaluate where
right.
you are.
So this gentleman here, just so you know, I'm going to introduce you here, Ira. He follows us a lot of our shows, and my answer to this is I think he's too far gone, but maybe you can help him. He's joking around. He's got a good sense of humor. I'm a mental case. Can she help me, or am I too far gone? Again, you know my opinion, Ira. You are way too far gone to help, but maybe Jenny can help you. So contact her.
Yeah, do that, please.
Ira actually has a very good sense of humor. We pick on Ira a little bit. Actually, I think he sets himself up on the show where thing is that he doesn't know how to spell, so he intentionally, I think, spells things incorrectly. Just so we can get on.
Yeah.
Um, so we know each other through your sister. She's kind of got a different way to look at life than you do, right? Like you're a little bit more hard driven than your sister. Is that true?
Sorry, is this show about the family or about talk with Jenny?
We talk about everything here, Jenny. We talk about everything.
Everything under the sun. Everybody is blessed with different personalities and different outlooks on life, and that's what makes the world a beautiful place.
Right.
The fact that we're not all the same.
Right.
Imagine how boring the world would be if we're all the same.
Definitely. And I feel the same way too. People, I get up at 3:30 in the morning. It's every day, and it's going to the gym all the time. Very disciplined, and I make sure I've learned to say to people, "Listen, this is the way I do it. It doesn't mean that you have to do it this way. I hope it inspires some people to do more, but you don't have to do the same thing." So,
yeah.
Okay. So some of these guys already, and I want to kind of like preface this all the time. So this is another gentleman that writes in. We're very proud of him. He's a retired firefighter. Tom needs help looking for that special someone because he spends every Sunday making great food for himself. That's just not accurate. Actually, did you see that I made homemade ketchup? Did you see that?
Oh no, I missed that. I think the last thing I saw you make, I can't remember what it was, but I've seen you in the kitchen a few times on your Instagram. So
So
yeah.
made homemade ketchup. I'm very proud of myself. My boys came over the other day, looked at my refrigerator, and they said, "Dad, the only bad thing you have in the refrigerator is ketchup." And I did a little bit of research on the corn syrup, or whatever is in the ketchup, and how bad that is for you. So I figured I roasted up my peppers, tomatoes, garlic, sauteed my onions, so it sweetens it all up and everything. So instead of putting any sugar in my ketchup, I had all those things. So that was my ketchup.
Nice. Yeah. That's wonderful.
So maybe you can help me in my next job now, transitioning into being a chef. Okay.
I can help you with that. You know the link. Just go schedule the time.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So you're back in Dallas now, and is it full bore on this business now? Talk with Jenny. Just you're focused on.
So it's still something that I do as an interest. I have a full-time job in industry, which I think it's important for me to keep that job so that it helps me, it keeps my view realistic when I'm helping people transitioning from one career to another. So I'm not just speaking from imagination, but from actual personal first-hand experience. So those are two things that I'm kind of doing together.
So you've got, and again, I'm very proud of this. Proud of you for this. I know you play it down, but you also volunteered in the Air Force or Navy Reserve. Is it
Air Force Reserve? Oh yeah, I'm so glad you mentioned it today.
Right.
I was like, Army Reserve, Navy Reserve.
I know. Reserve. So I mean that a lot, and I know we did first show we did together. We had a gentleman, I forgot his name now too. He was really impressed. We talked about the fact, obviously, you were born and raised in Nigeria, came over here to this country. And to volunteer to go in as a reserve really says a lot about you and your character and everything too. So, and I believe too that's that kind of stuff is also very good. I should talk about you, but I think for other people for their careers as well, right? Show that they get involved in a community in other ways other than just having a job and get paid. Volunteering your time. So.
Yeah, for sure. I think I'm. There's not really little to add because I was just going to add that we are more than a paycheck. Like we're more than the job that we do at our desk. People have bigger desires, bigger other parts of themselves, and just being able to showcase that in the things that you do in your spare time or the things that you choose to volunteer for are also important to, future employers.
Yeah. And the only thing too, like you may never be able to get a perfect job for it, right? So it's how you approach the job as much as what the actual job is, don't you think?
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Like they say, life is some of what happens to you, and the rest of it is how you handle it. So it applies to jobs too. But that said, some workplaces are just plain toxic and not helpful for your growth. Or like people might tend to use like click and bait, like they advertise one thing on the job description, you interview for that with that knowledge, and then you go in and it's like, actually, here's what's changing. The entire department is walking away from this project, but then you'll be the only person on this project right now. So it's like that, so things like that. It's not a personal problem, it is the workplace problem.
Yeah.
I need to be able to address that.
Good point. Is there anything you can do to guard against that, or is that that's the nature of the beast?
It's a risk. I mean, you can't. You would want that in an interview process that people are being fair, as much as employers are expecting that you are fair and representing yourself accurately on your resume and at the interview. So it's a two-way street. There's that expectation that people come into a call, like an interview call for a job, are both fair and have a very fair approach and respect for the other person to be truthful and honest. And you really can't tell until you're actually in it. So sometimes you really can't prevent these things from happening. But there are some red flags. I will say that there are some red flags. Like if people aren't very consistent in their wording, even just during the interview process, if the recruiter says one thing and then manager said something else, and it's like, wait, and you can't really figure out what information to go with. You want to, you want to really think hard about moving forward with an offer or accepting an offer if one is made.
Right.
One
Here's an
example.
interesting point for one of our listeners that follows us quite a bit. Too many people are impressed with their degree to the point where they feel like it's unnecessary to embark upon further endeavors. That's an interesting comment, right? So somebody goes to like Harvard or Yale or whatever it is, thinks they got their degree, so that's who they are now in their career, and they really don't work hard enough to at the actual job that they get after school, right?
Yeah, you know what? That comment is pretty interesting, and it's also pretty. It's a little broad. Although I see your evaluation of it. I wish we could get Danny to break it down a little more. Um, but without having more information, yeah, I think same too can be said of other things where people achieve so much or like gain all these awards and they rest on their laurels, like they say. Um, but it's I don't know what to say.
You got to do the work, right?
Yeah.
Well, just in general, then about like school. So my two sons, one of them went to Michigan State, did fantastic, got a job right away. The other one didn't go to school right away. Went for one semester, didn't work out, and he's really worked hard now to create a career for himself. I mean, is it? I mean, obviously, you're somebody that's gone to school. Very important to you. Is it overstated the importance of an education in the workplace?
That's a great question, especially for today, like this day and age, because recently companies are, let me preface this by saying that yes, education is important. What that looks like can be different for everybody. Because people, there's value in going to college and gaining a college degree. However, it's not like gaining a college degree is not the singular defining factor for success in a person's career. That said, companies are now moving away from some companies are now moving away from requiring a college degree for certain jobs. You have companies like, I believe, Uber, JP Morgan. Actually, yes, JP Morgan actually has like a product manager role right now that's opening up with that has no college degree requirements. It's right there in the job description. There's no, it doesn't state any. Google also has no college degree requirements for certain roles. So yeah, I think that points to the fact that school is great, but it's also what you make of your time while you're in school or while you're out of school. Just developing skills that are important that can be beneficial to the business and obviously to the community.
Because if you're an employer, you can almost argue that somebody that doesn't go to college at 18 years old and gets out in the workforce and really gets serious and wants to find a job, you can kind of admire that person in some way. Instead of going to college for 4 years and having fun, all the fun is college, he really wants to get to work. So some employer can say, "Wow, I want this guy. I can teach him things while he's there, and he's motivated and driven." Right?
No, I think it takes a special kind of person to want to pursue that and actually do it and see through it and be successful. I think it takes grit, the kind of grit that you are not really taught in school. So
Yeah,
yeah, it definitely speaks to a person's character to be able to do that. I wish I
yeah,
could have gotten away with that. I'm just
I
joking.
know. I'm trying to think. I try to think like the maturity level as an 18. I think myself. I'll be honest. At 18 years old, I mean, I was in college. I got a college scholarship to play hockey. I was a mutthead. I didn't. I could barely
I
get to
mean,
class.
you find people also enlisted in the military at that age, or even if not even earlier. So people are built differently, and again, that's what's so beautiful about just being a diverse community. You
Yeah.
know,
Isn't that
yeah.
true about like Ron Jameson here as a veteran? Thank you again, Ron, for your service, military experience. How much percentage does that affect an employer's decision to hire a veteran in today's world?
Here's how I'll answer that question. I wouldn't say that I have all the answers for like military employment in the civilian world. However, I will say that there are companies who, first of all, go where you're valued.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and there are companies that make a conscious effort to recruit and retain people who have served in the military, veterans. For example, you have companies like Amazon, AT&T, and other such companies that are supportive of the military and have special programs for people in the military. And then there are also programs that are designed by the government to support people transitioning from military service to the civilian world. So, if you're able to get in touch with some of them, you would be able to, find the specific companies that would value your service.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember, right? Because you can go fight in a war or represent your country at 18 years old, right? So it's a special person. And I guess there's exceptions to everything, but I mean, in a lot of cases, I really want that person that has had that kind of character. Here's another option too. My son graduates from high school in June and is then going to a trade school for aircraft repair. Wow, very cool.
That's lovely. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, because it's something different, right? I mean, obviously, you need people to repair airplanes or in trouble. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's great because sometimes people, and to the parents on here who are watching, let me know, sometimes you have kids who just go to college because they are asked to go to college. They don't know what they want to do. They don't want to go to college. They feel like they will benefit from a gap year, for example, to think about what they really want to do versus going and taking all these loans and then coming out with a degree where they're still as lost as they were when they first started. So I think it's a blessing if people are able to pursue those interests outside of, just not having that pressure of the 4-year college degree hanging over their head and then going whenever they're ready.
Isn't that true, right? That you talk to a lot of people, kids in high school now, it's almost like a requirement that they go through this whole process of going out and looking at schools and everything. And like you just said, how many of them really don't even want to do that? They just feel like they're supposed to do that. It's the next step, right?
Yeah, yeah. Again, some people also just need motivation and some people need that structure. It's helpful for them depending on the career that you're going for. If you're going for like a finance or if you're going to become a physician, you will need to go to the college. And I'm sure like people who have those goals or that kind of end goal are not worried about the need to go to college. But then there's just there's different things for different folks, I guess. Yeah.
Agree. Here's I haven't seen John Fazekas in a long time. We did a charity give out long. John, how are you? John lost his son unfortunately a few years back, and we did a charity event. He was a hockey player, so great family, great guy. Helmets to Hard Hats also supports members leaving the military to serve. So that's a organization. Helmets to Hard Hats. That's pretty cool. I never saw that. So if
Yeah, there's also like Fold of Honor, I believe it's called. So it supports members of military who have either been injured or passed away, who are trying to just make it in life, like either support their kids through college or just different things.
right. I met there's a guy who's got a restaurant over in Terrytown. It's awful. I'll think of it while we're talking. But he actually ran the restaurant at the top of the World Trade Center during 9/11. Obviously, he was not there. It just made me think. I did an interview with him, and he talked about how they raised millions of dollars for all the kids that were of the offspring of the people that lost their lives, and they continue to have scholarships for them now and everything. It's a pretty cool story how that just continues on and on, and goes over and over. So a lot of great. It's funny. We're getting off tangent here as far as jobs, but I know you're a real patriot, and we hear a lot of negative stories about things that are happening in our country, whether it's race or politics or whatever, the economy. But I just really believe this country is a fantastic country. A lot of great people doing a lot of great things for other people. Like, so we talk about these organizations that are helping people. So I just think during this time where it's Memorial Day and it's the anniversary of D-Day and everything, that we remember how, what a great country we really have. But I know you know that.
Yeah, it's a great country.
Yes. What's Daddy saying here too? There's too much micromanaging by the high school students' parents these days. Interesting. It is. You do when you talk to parents. It is a big deal getting their kids into college, right?
Yeah, that's a funny age too. So it's yeah, and so there's a fine line, I'm sure, but it helps to have just to be self-driven. Sometimes these things are not really handed over from one person to another, but it's also good to see by example. It's helpful not just to tell people what to do, but also just show them. And hopefully that helps.
Yeah. All right, here's Brent. Now, Brendan, we met Brendan. We did a show one time, another buddy of mine, and we got talking about sleep and how I didn't think sleep was too important. Brendan, that's his job. He studies sleep. We'd love to get some veterans to train as sleep techs. They are used to odd hours, can work as a team or independently. 2-year degree, and hospitals can't find them in New York. Starting salary 6% plus. Please feel free to contact me.
I love this channel. Yeah, there you go. So the veterans on here you go. You can network with Brendan. Brendan, thank you for popping on and showing us this amazing opportunity.
Yeah.
Hopefully people contact you.
Brendan's a good man. So when and I do, just for the record, I do believe in the sleep, Brendan. I know you know this, of the science of appropriate sleep. I guess my point was more of a motivational thing, when those days when you're not getting sleep, to try to be even more motivated, because you instead of saying, well, I didn't get enough sleep, so I can't do this the way I thought I should. So I'll give an example. We went to Raleigh. The Rangers played a playoff game 2 weeks ago, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago tonight, actually, and didn't get home till 2 o'clock in the morning. And then I said, no, I have to get up at 3:30, my normal time. So I got up with an hour and a half of sleep, and it's just, I felt, again, I motivated myself, because I thought, okay, I have to go extra hard here, because I only got an hour and a half of sleep, and had a great day, great work, and all that kind of stuff. Now, I'd be careful though. I do believe with Brendan that the sleep is very important, but it's so.
Yeah, that's not sustainable long term. So
That's not.
respect that.
But it was funny though, because everybody's like on the plane coming back, but they all know I get up at 3:30. So you're not going to get up in an hour and a half, are you? Yeah, I'm getting up in an hour and a half. So it's like I was even more motivated, because
watch.
Yeah. What is Brendan saying here now? Another one. Agreed. Not excuse, but we should manage strategically. Even military does so. Yes, I agree. All right. So you're back in Dallas. You've done traveling around the world. You're here to visit family. You're in St. Thomas. So you're back. Do you mind me asking what? So you've got the reserve. You've got this business, Talk with Jenny, and what's your other business that you've got going?
I work a full-time job as well.
Yeah. What do you do full time? Do you mind me asking?
Yeah, I'm a researcher in the tech industry.
Oh, wow. That's right. I think you told me that.
I'm a user experience researcher. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you got a lot going on. And you've got your master's too, correct?
Yeah, I have a master's in public health and a bachelor's degree in biology.
Wow.
And also a PhD in public health as well. So it's a bachelor's, master's, and
that's right,
doctoral degree in public health, working now in tech. And it took some inner work and outer work, just reflecting on where I wanted to be and where I was trying to go, and then finding the right people, networking with them the right way, and having them help me get my foot in the door, and just connecting with the best opportunities to break into tech. So I've had a chance to work at some leading companies in their respective industries in tech. So when I speak based on my personal experience, and I know that if I can do it from a biology background without going to like boot camps or anything, I'm sure that you can too.
Yeah. So it's appropriate to call you doctor then, right? So you are a doctor. You've got your PhD, so I call you doctor.
Yeah, you can call me doctor.
Dr. Jenny. You prefer Dr. Jenny? I like that. Yeah. It's an interesting question here. Danny's on fire today with the questions. Good question. How is the U.S. compared to Canada?
That's a Tom question. I like how he just slapped your name on right there at the end.
Yes. Tom. Yeah. So in Canada, well, there's a few differences. So for instance, where I was, I don't think this is throughout Canada, but when I was in high school, I had a 5-year program in high school. It was not a 4-year program, but they also had the option of a 4-year program. But that was more of a tech program, like you take some trade. And then I was offered after my junior year, I guess during my 4th year in high school, I was on that 5-year program, but I was offered a scholarship to play hockey at Northern Michigan University. So I switched over to the 4-year program, therefore graduated. Not very well. My grades, we need some help. When I was coaching, I had to coach a high school hockey team 17 years ago, and they wanted to get my high school grades. Now, I remember myself being a pretty good student. And then when I got the grades back, my sons actually got a hold of it. Man, it was not good at all. I think I spent way too much time playing hockey and not enough time at school. Oh, man. My sons were pretty good students. And they got a hold of me. They looked at it like, "Oh, Dad, you're an idiot! Like, what were you doing?"
No. Well, you turned out good.
It was terrible.
Funny.
Oh,
but yeah.
So, were you pretty good in school all the time? Did you have to? One of those people had to work at it. It came naturally to you, or a little bit of both?
That's a very good question. I think we all need help at different stages, but I think I would say I didn't struggle in school.
You didn't. You were pretty good. Good student. My youngest son, he'll love me telling this story. He's actually, I'm very proud of him, very intelligent, very independent man. But I guess part of his independence was when he was in his senior year in high school, he was failing his gym class. So I'm thinking, like, how do you fail gym class? Well, he was so stubborn, he would not bring in his gym shorts. So the teacher said, I can't. Actually, the teacher really liked him a lot too and kind of admired his independence, that he just was saying, no, I'm not bringing him in. But he wasn't going to pass him. So finally, they came to a meeting of the minds. He started bringing in his gym shorts. So he passed the class. But
That's funny.
yeah, his independence. He's a great story. I'm very proud of both my sons. They took different paths. Again, my older one went to Michigan State, really did well, got a job right away with General Mills up in Minneapolis, and works for Kronos, a cannabis company out of Canada. And then my younger son went for one semester at Pace University. Did not go well, but he went out in the business world and made himself, and holds a high position now in a real estate development company. So they've done well.
Yeah. He figured out his own path.
Yes, he did. That's right, though. But that's got to be hard for a lot of kids, right? Because you're getting so much pressure from parents and peers that this is the path you're going to take. You're going to go to school. That's the way it's going to be. You're going to try to get in the best school possible. You're going to do what you want. And they, like you said, they're 17 years old. They don't even know they don't know at all what they want to do, right?
Yeah, you find that there are people who are motivated even at that age, but then there's others who also just need extra help, extra support, or just that space of maybe a semester, a year, to think about what they want to do.
Right. So that's a good point, right? So you finished high school. There really is no rule that says you have to go to college right away after high school. You could step back and go get a job or whatever it is for a gap year. How do schools or businesses look at that if you take that year off? Right? I guess it's really what you do during that time and after, right?
So your question is more about like the power of your story and how you're able to deliver your experiences in a way that it makes sense to the employer. So like you said, what have you done in that year and how does it tie to where you're trying to go? So it's not necessarily frowned upon. There's the myth that, if you take a gap year or if you take like a few months, even for moms who had to go away to raise their families, it's like, how do I explain that 3, 4, 5 year gap? You're doing something important for your life, in your life, and it just depends on how you frame that, how you're able to position, frame that story.
Right. I agree. All right, guys, just so you're aware, this is Dr. Jenny. That is correct, Dr. Jenny.
Yeah.
She has a company called Talk with Jenny.
Yes.
Among some of the things she does, she's for a young lady, she's very experienced. She's done a lot of things. She's very motivated herself. So she's not talking just out of reading something from a textbook or something. She's actually lived the life herself. She's changed careers. She's changed schools, changed her path in her education. Again, volunteered for in the military for our country. Again, coming from Nigeria, so very inspirational person. She again has this company, Talk with Jenny. You can find her on Instagram at Talk with Jenny, and you can talk to her about your current job situation. Are you in the right job for yourself? Should you switch? How do you switch? All those things. So, very inspiring person you are, Dr. Jenny. I'm going to call you Doctor for now. Just Doctor. Doctor.
What you're saying, though. What?
Is it the Captain Morgan commercials? Like, Doctor? Yeah, it's Captain Morgan. You probably haven't seen it. But
I think so. Not quite sure.
I think it's a funny commercial. Doctor?
Yeah.
Doctor?
Hey.
Well, great to see you again. I'm glad you're back safe from St. Thomas. I heard you were not feeling too well, but you look great and sound great. So
thank you.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to try to make this a weekly thing. Every Tuesday at 10 o'clock, we're going to try to shoot for that time if we can. We may have to be a little bit flexible. So if you guys have questions or anything leading up to that, you can write in before. Or again, you can reach us here every Tuesday at 10 o'clock. Jenny, great to see you. Doctor, great to see you again.
Okay. It's Jenny too. Thank you so much, and thanks everyone for participating. It's fun.
See everybody next week.